Welcome to the Fort Johnson podcast, where we bring you the latest news, resources, and discussions that matter to our community. This week, we're focusing on something that affects us all, OPSEC, or operational security. Whether you're a soldier, a family member, or a civilian employee, protecting sensitive information is a responsibility we all share. Today, we'll talk about what OPSEC is, why it's important, and how small actions can make a big difference in keeping our community safe. Stay with us as we dive into this critical topic. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are watching or listening to our program. I am Jeff England from the Fort Johnson Public Affairs Office, and we are in the Fort Johnson Podcast Studio. Today with me, I have two special guests from the Garrison Security Office. Ken Smith and Sherry Johnson from Fort Johnson.
Right.
Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Ken, you can talk too.
Oh, I'm laughing at the comments you made.
So we've got OPSEC security, operational security. That is where we don't want to know about things like soldiers' movements and stuff like that.
Correct.
No one wants to know when you're having a movement.
Oh, they really do, but you don't want them to know.
So my biggest thing with OPSEC, I've dealt with it for years, like I'm sure you guys have too. But some of the simplest things are operational security. Anything that the enemy can see or find to use against us, and I'm going to straight up say, just knowing when you go to work is operations security. Right. It's like, okay, well, they leave the house at this time and they go down this street all the time. And so, it's little things like that that we have to pay attention to that you don't even think about.
Right.
So, what would you say are some of the top things that we should pay attention to?
Well, you want to pay attention to your surroundings, be aware if anything has changed or any of that. You can make sure are you being followed? Like you said, on your way to work, is anything changing? Is your routine creating a bad habit as far as you becoming a threat at that point, a target for a threat?
Yeah, the other things are Facebook posts and social media. Those are just like forever. Even
horrible.
That's why taking pictures on posts are restricted. It's with the proper permissions and clearances. Yeah, there are people allowed to take pictures, but in general, you have to know because there's something in the background.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't pay attention, and that could be, oh, look at that, because we're not the only ones looking at your pictures and at your social media posts.
Now, since you touched on that topic, a lot of times we get a call and say, can I come on post, take pictures? If they do, they have to come through PAO. That is where you get your permission to take pictures, because they normally send somebody with you, or if it's nothing you really interested, they'll let you go do it. But you got to go through your PAO office if you want to take pictures inside the installation or on outside that gate.
Yeah, and there's a sign right there at the gate that says, "Hey,
every gate.
Don't take pictures." And that's the other thing that bothers me are these what do you call them? Those people that try to cause problems just to see how far they could push it.
Yes.
And they don't understand. Well, we're on a public sidewalk. Yeah, but it's a little bit more than that. It's not that we're trying to restrict your freedoms. Auditors, that's what they're called. They call themselves auditors.
Yes.
They're taking pictures and video of the front gate, and we're on a public streets and we can do it. And it's like, it's not whether you can do it. It's whether you should do it.
Right.
Because everyone's watching these videos. I see them. And if I see them, then anybody can see them. Showing the front gate is, well, here's a weakness and there's a weakness, and
exactly.
This is what they do. So it's these things people don't pay attention to.
They add up. So with operational security, you can have a bunch of unclassified information, that may be put out in different posts or different things by PAO or in the Guardian. But if you add up a bunch of unclassified information, then you can come up with a classified product, which in turn creates a vulnerability. So we really want to protect the installation. We want to protect its soldiers. We want to protect its people. That's our number one priority, is to protect everyone here and have the safety of national security.
Oh, so it's like every little bit of information's a piece of the puzzle, and they're just making a big old puzzle.
That is exactly what it is.
It's a puzzle. Now, the safest thing I say, when you think about OPSEC, when you leave out your front door, OPSEC starts at home. Why I say that? At nighttime, you come home, you sit in your little recliner, you lay back. What is the first thing you do? Read mails. Open it up. You don't tear it up. You don't shred it up. You throw it right in the trash can. That's a big P right there. You open your bills, emails, whatever. We don't do anything with that stuff. We just throw it in the trash, whatever. You should shred that stuff up. If not, that's where the adversary comes and go in your trash. I have witnessed guys come through my neighborhood. I just look out the door to see what they're doing. They go through your trash. Whatever they see, they get it in pieces together like a puzzle. And then you can do with it. You can go out there and try to stop the guy, but you put it out there. It's just like an email. If you don't want anyone to read it, do not push that send button. Because once you send it, it's out there. OPSEC is the same way.
I've actually known people that have, it's like, well, writing is cathartic and it helps me with getting my emotions out, and I'm going to write an email and it's really horrible and says all these bad things, and then but then I delete it before I send it and all that stuff. And it's like, oops, I pressed the wrong button and sent it out to everybody. It's like, no, boss, pay attention. No, recall.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what would you say? Do you know of any where a simple overstep or a simple forgotten something or anything has caused a bigger problem with OPSEC? Like, they forgot to. My wife posted "Welcome Home" on
a social media.
Oh, I can't wait! He's going to be home on
blogs.
Yeah.
Family blog, military family blogs, the wives' pages on the Facebook pages. It's like, here they're gone, or here I'm having problems with. If they're saying, here I'm having a problem with this, then you can have an adversary go, oh, look, I can come and fix that problem, and I'm going to weed myself in, and then I'm going to try to figure out how I can get additional information. So whenever, the spouse is calling back from wherever their deployment may be, they may be telling them something because they're trying to decompress, even though they shouldn't be discussing that with their spouse, but they do. And so we have to deal with that reality and make sure that they understand you can't do those things. That's a very simple thing of, hey, I need help with this. They think nothing of it. But if you've got a deployed spouse, that now creates a bigger issue.
That's true.
Yeah, I can totally see something like, can anybody out there help me with some diapers, or I need some baby food, or I'm coming up short this time for a bill, and then somebody comes into the rescue. It's like, hey, I'll give you all this money if you could just, hook me up with a map or hook me up with this or that. And it's like, I've heard some crazy stories. It's like, hey, could I get a copy of the installation newspaper? Yeah. It's like, yeah, sure, I could get you that. So they go out to the front. Yeah, I'll meet you out front gate. I just can't get on post. So you go out there. It's like, just put it in an envelope so it doesn't get bothered or destroyed.
So it doesn't rain on it or whatever.
Yeah, so put it in just an envelope. So they go out there. Here you go, no problem. But his partner's over there taking pictures of you handing a manila envelope over, and now all of a sudden
you can be blackmailed or coerced or anything else because of how it looks.
And they didn't even think about it. It's just a newspaper. It's like, how do we know?
Now, all that is true, but you think about what's happening right now. Just look at the free world. A lot of people are losing their job. They got a lot of stuff in their mind. They know a lot of secret stuff. A lot. But you're pissed at your government and all this stuff. You don't care what you do now. If I walk up to you now and offer you money for information, 9 out of 10 times they're going to sell it. So OPSEC is going to become very, very important. Very important, because you do not know who the adversary is now. It could be her. It could be him. You don't know. It could be me.
Jeff.
It's not me.
I understand it, but you don't know who the adversary is anymore. Nobody knows.
You never know.
No.
We get flyers through the security side from CID and other agencies, and they're your next door neighbor.
That's
It's the person working in the cubicle next to you that can be an insider threat, which is, gathering all of this information.
Oh, yeah, I did that on the OPSEC training that we did.
Yeah.
now another thing I see. I'm guilty of it every day, but I catch myself. Your ID badges. Everybody is guilty of walking out that building with that badge on. I don't care who it is. It just, we're used to it. We on installation, can't nobody get it. That's what they think. We don't know who's on installation walking around. Anybody can take a picture of that badge. That's all they waiting for is a chance. So be mindful when you wear your badge outside. Me too. Take it off. Ain't nothing you can do with it outside. We know who you are.
I'm going to see him on Friday, and I'm going to like, hey, what's up with the badge?
That's true. I said I'm guilty of it. I know. OPSEC is an ongoing thing you have to practice every day.
I have to worry about that when I go over and take video or pictures within the headquarters building because, you have to have your badge,
right.
But I have to tell them to take it off before I take pictures and videos. But I'm authorized to do that. I got special permission. I got a magnet that I put on my truck.
And another new thing that's going on, we don't too much think about it, but I always see it in the security and OPSEC write-up. This little thing right here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Apple Watch. It worked miracles. I lost my wallet 2 weeks ago, and I panicked. But I had a chip in my wallet. Went here, and walked right to my wallet. Money and everything was still in it. That's how dangerous this thing is. So when you go into skips and they tell you to pull that stuff off, take it off, leave it outside. You may leave the phone out there, but this is just as dangerous as your phone.
Yeah, now it's too bad the watch doesn't say, hey, this is where I am because my kid lost the watch. It was like a brand new one too. It's like, great, now it's gone. I'm still paying on it.
Right?
So what would be the best tips that you have, just on a daily basis?
On a daily basis for me, the best tip for lowest ranking guy to the highest ranking civilian. OPSEC training, annual year. Take it. It has a lot of good information in it. If you follow that right there, it'll keep you out of a lot of trouble because they don't leave too much unturned in those classes. But you have to take that annual training. You need it. If you're new hire, you both have it 30 days after being onboarded. It helps. A lot of people coming into this work, they do not know what OPSEC is. Me, when I came in the Army, probably all the way up to E5, I didn't know what OPSEC was.
Yeah.
I didn't,
Yeah.
because they didn't preach it.
Right.
They didn't. I didn't know what OPSEC was. When I started doing OPSEC in 2006, when I started doing the job, I used to take it home to my kids and teach it to them, and they would think I was crazy. But then they look at it and they go, wow, they never knew this stuff existed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because, like you said, the throwing away your mail and all that stuff and shred the documents, shred this and black out that and all that stuff. It's weird. People sit there and, you're overreaching. And, it's like if somebody wants to know where you are, they just Google you anyway. It's like, well, then why do you get so upset when somebody doxes you online? Yep. It's like, well, they know where you live already. Now they've got your address, your phone number, your ex-girlfriend and 3 bills. And it's like, when you start thinking about it.
There's a lot of information that can be dug out of the trash and people have no idea, or even just their social media. You combine, that's part of the puzzle.
Yep.
You combine one thing with the other thing, you've got a lot of information.
A lot.
And I like doing that. That's like one of my hobbies, just for fun. I go in and I'll see who I can find, what information I can find. I can find out where they live. I could find it on the map. I could see their house. I know how much they pay in taxes. I know how much they paid for the house. I know how much they make. It's crazy. And I've actually seen other videos on there where this guy will go up to a stranger and say, hey, and call them out by name and start going off and making them think that they
know
are
them.
friends
Yep.
and way back and this, and they'll sit there. Others have said, you don't know me, I don't know you. It's like, well, then why do I know this, and it's like, how do you know all that? And it's like, crazy, scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another good thing you think about, I always go back to home, then I come to work. When you buy these big items, TVs, what do we do with the box?
Throw them away.
Exactly. You put them right outside your house. 96-inch TV. Man ride by in the truck. He started looking at your pattern, what time you go to work, what time you come off. He got a 96-inch TV we can get off the wall. So when you get those stuff like that, get rid of the box. Don't put it outside. You got to cut it up, take it to recycle place. Don't put it outside your house because it's just a telltale sign. At work, all white paper should be shredded. We don't do it. Sure, we don't do it. You should shred everything that you throw away. Don't put it in the dumpster or anything like that. Shred it so you can get money back for recycling. That's another whole task.
There's a recycling program for that.
Recycle program. Your unit get money for that stuff. The more stuff you recycle, the more money your unit put back into your pocket. That's unit only, unit driven. Since I've been here, OPSEC Group and Bayne-Jones have made the most money out of all that stuff because the other units throws away their paper. Don't throw this stuff away. It's OPSEC because every unit got someone called a dumpster diver. Mm-hmm. What is that? It's dirty, but you go through the dumpsters and see what's in it. Me, I used to go on the back porch of where I work at and just go through some of the boxes. I found a whole story in that one day about stuff about people alive. Yeah, I read it, so when I see that, I go, wow. Don't throw it away.
And one of the worst things I could see people throwing away, especially in offices, is printed out emails.
Yes.
It's like, it's not just the email, but it's the addresses and all that stuff. People pay money for email addresses. Get a mailing list, and now all of a sudden you're getting spam and pills and all that stuff. It's annoying.
And for you guys out in the unit, know who your OPSEC guy is in your unit. You have one. Everybody has one. Know who that person is because you may need that person one day. Know who that person is. If you don't know who that person is, come to me and I can point you to the right guy.
Or you know what? I have a feeling maybe since you have a list of all of the OPSEC officers in all the units, you can send out an email saying, "Hey, watch our podcast," and have all of your people watch our podcast.
And while we're on that, there is an OPSEC Level 2 class coming up, April 8th through 10th. If you have someone that needs to attend that class, they need to get in touch with me before all seats are filled. Right now, we have at least 10 seats open.
You know, that is not well, for me, it's not an easy class. What is it, 3 days?
3 days.
And I'm horrible with it. It's so sad. I failed one class in school ever, one F, and it was English. So I grow up to work in journalism. I can't write. I can't do an essay question to save my life. And that is that's the final exam is one essay question.
Right. You got to do a capstone before you graduate. But it's pretty, you really can't fail it the way they teach it. Only way you can fail that class is you just don't listen. And like he just said, you hate writing.
Yep, that was me. I almost did. I almost failed, but the teachers are really, really good. They did a really great job, and they helped me through it. And they knew where my weakness was. It wasn't that I didn't know the stuff or the material. It's just that I can't write to save my life.
Right, and this course is free. It's free to the unit. All you have to do is get the soldier there. It is free. The team comes here to teach it for 3 days, 8 through 10. There are only 30 seats. When they're filled, they're filled.
Yep, and the good thing is this happens, or we have those classes are available differently, but at almost all installations.
Right.
So if there are people out there watching the podcast at a different installation, or commanders come across this at a different installation, this is and top it all off, for soldiers to have the OPSEC 2 training is really helpful for their careers, because now they're even more viable and they're more useful, because now they can be the OPSEC officers.
Right.
Right, and it's now a skill identifier. That is what you will receive. Once you complete the class, you will receive a skill identifier from here on out. But like Jeff said, if you're looking at this from other installation and you do need to come to the class, contact me. I can get you in the class here because it's paid for through Big Army or whoever. It's paid for. It's not out of your pocket or unit pocket, but you would have to, the TDY pay, it comes from you. Class is free. Everything else is on you, though.
Yeah. Yeah, everything else. Pencil, paper, note-taking.
That's on you. We only support the class. We'll supply that for you free.
I do believe there's a vending machine somewhere in that building, too. So,
Oh, they got it.
So how you've been, or so you started being an OPSEC officer in 2006?
Yes.
So that's 19 years. That's almost as you took that job shortly after I got here. So that's a pretty long time.
It is, to tell you the truth. I tried to get rid of it. I did, but it's a good job though, because you see a lot of stuff. You can correct it every day. Every day.
Now, have you seen any problems, direct violation or anything that's caused some problems?
Yes. The main ones that I saw since I've been here, and I see almost every day, most people, when they go to lunch, what do? We
Take the badge off.
They take the badge off, but they don't take the badge. They sit down and eat with the badge on, but you're sitting right in a place with about 200 or 50 people sitting, eating. You're always talking shop.
Talk.
That's your worst thing. When you go to eat, don't talk shop. Wait till you go back in your building to talk about. Most people do. They go out and talk about deployment, everything. How many trucks broken down? How many soldiers sick? What they sick of? What happened to them? That's not the type of place to talk that information. But you guys do it. Try to keep that stuff at your work area. When you go to eat. Talk about the kids. Talk about stuff like that, but not your work related stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, the other things that I've seen are pay attention to your surroundings. Mm-hmm. There's the easiest way to lose vital information that you're not giving out is shoulder surfing. Or I don't even know what they call it, but I mean, sure, there's a name for it, but opening the door for somebody. A secure door, or like holding it, letting somebody walk in with you, and it's like I don't know. And I'm guilty of that. I hold the door open for everybody. And there was this one guy. So I was going into the headquarters building. There was this one guy pushing a shopping cart, like 15 jackets on. Smelled really bad. So I held the door open for him. I mean, it was a shot. So, nah, I'm kidding. But I mean, that's guilty. A lot of people.
It's hard because if you're raised with manners, it's courtesy that you hold the door open for someone, especially if they have items in their hands and things like that. But you have to remember, when you're entering a place that requires you to badge in and badge out, you cannot hold that door open for them. Even if you're seeing a badge, again, for the same reason that he said, anybody can try to duplicate that, but there's actually wires within that badge. Most people don't know that. So even if those wires get cut, they're not going to actually scan. But if somebody's just looking at, they got a badge here, I'll let them in.
That's it.
That's a big problem.
Just a picture they're looking at, that's it.
Now, you know what, we're a little off topic off this one, but the RFIDs in credit cards, mm-hmm. If you use the app in your phone that holds the credit cards and you go to scan it, that app does not give your credit card number. It gives a one-time use only reference number to your credit card, which is on file. So that's actually a secure way to purchase things. That was just something.
No,
something
I like
it. I'm just, my head's full of useless trivia.
Well, another OPSEC violation I see people do at work, nobody brings it to their attention, don't say anything about it. You see people walking around with their Apple buds in their ear. That is still wireless. You're not supposed to use any wireless stuff in the building, but they still do it. That is wireless.
Well, what about the people like me with hearing aids and stuff? I mean, mine are Bluetooth.
Don't nobody ever walk up to you and ask the question, is it medical? But if they can ask you, is that a medical? Do you have any medical issue that you
HIPAA violation? You're not allowed to ask me.
No, and then they can ask you.
You can ask them that.
But you can ask them, is that wired to your phone?
Exactly, you can.
You can't ask them that.
Nope, it's all wireless.
Because the phone could be out there in his car and someone could be out there recording, but he have that piece in his ear.
See, the thing that I like, I could just, if I leave my phone in the room, I have a little, an app on my phone where I can actually use my phone as a listening device and just listen in my hearing. That same with the Apple Buds and stuff like that.
That's why you want to make sure is that disconnected from your phone.
And another thing, you young soldiers, I'm basically talking to the young soldiers out there. When you're in the motor pool doing your PM6 and all that, you know what's broke and what's not broken. It's not for you to go out and let everybody know how many vehicles are broken in your unit. That's an OPSEC violation right there, because if I'm the adversaries, I know you got 20 vehicles in your unit, 19 of them broke. That's a failure right there.
Yep.
That's a failure, so don't do that. The most important video you ever seen since I've been doing is the old Marine guy when he come out and say, loose lips sinks ship. That is true. If your lips are loose, you'll sink the unit. Remember that.
Yeah. And there you go. World War II tactics from Ken Smith.
Hey, it works, though. It works. If you zip it, can't nothing come out of it.
Do you know how hard that is for some people? Like, my ex-girlfriend would never be able to the ships would be sunk. And I've seen some of these Facebook pages. There's no way.
There's a lot, but I like what Kim brought up the good point about the loose ships do sink ships.
Yeah, try to say that 3 times.
Yeah, I know, right? That came from the World War, but OPSEC became official in the 80s, right? Mm-hmm. But they've been using it since George Washington. It's an ongoing process, and now it's a legal ongoing process.
Well, I can tell you right now, with 100% accuracy and a guarantee, that George Washington never posted anything wrong on Facebook.
Okay. And when you guys in your unit, I'm guilty of it. You want to take a selfie? Look what's behind you when you take that selfie.
Just like when shooting a gun, or over at the, that's one of the gun safeties is what's behind your target.
A lot of your training schedules behind you, your calendar's marked all up and everything. Some of you got whiteboards behind you. Everything you're going to do in that mission is written behind you, even when you're downrange on deployment. Don't take those pictures and send them back this way, because they can just grab them out of free air and do what they want to do when they know where.
And maps and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've actually made our boss, because they were taking a picture for an award thing, and I'm like, no, I need you to move over because of what was in the background.
Yeah. Now, the different we used to have, I don't know, do we still have all these different security markings and classifications? I mean, it was like secret, top secret, classified,
we have unclassified,
FOIA, and all that stuff. Or now are we just down to CUI?
No. We still have all the other ones. CUI, the controlled unclassified information. So OPSEC is actually an area that falls under the CUI program. And you have to properly mark those items. You have control blocks now for those items. So again, remember me saying where a bunch of unclassified can add up to something? So now they have it where we have controlled unclassified information.
Yeah, and one of the things I learned in OPSEC 2 and in my public affairs training is anything marked with anything, including CUI, is not releasable. You don't send that out to the public.
Correct.
So you shouldn't see anything on our website that has a CUI marking on there. If you do, let me know. Just give me a call. So I saw you looking through your notes, Ken. Did you forget something? Did you?
No. I just want to throw something out to everybody. So once we finish this, and you finish looking at this podcast, go and see how many OPSEC violations you can find in your unit.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
And don't tell anybody. Just write them down. Then once y'all go through and you have a little huddle, show what you found. You become more knowledgeable.
Yeah. Now everyone's going to hate you.
I don't know. Maybe you can come up with some kind of reward system.
Hey, I found these and I found that. It's like,
here's your pass.
You weren't supposed to see that.
What I just like when you guys come to the gate and they pull a random car over and search it. That's OPSEC. They're going through it. They're doing the same thing as you guys would normally do, that you should do with your car before you come on post. Search it. Do your OPSEC on it before you come through the gate. That way you can't get in trouble.
And the thing I hate about most those searches are they're random. You never know when it's going to happen.
But that's key because you never know when an adversary is sitting in front of you.
Yep. So it's good practice.
It is. And OPSEC month is
It normally is in January, but this year they decided to move it to May.
May.
That's why this May you will see a whole lot of information coming out there. And you walk to a lot of buildings, you're going to see posters. Take heed, look at those posters, and think what that poster is trying to tell you. If you see a trash can on a poster with trash spilling all out, it's trying to tell you something. Anybody can go through that dumpster and find what's in it. That's all it's saying.
That would be
They
spillage.
have another piece of the puzzle they're trying to put together. That's basically all that is.
And then the Guardian's going to put out a piece too during
Yeah.
May, so we're excited about that as well.
Yes, it's gonna be a
Yeah,
lot.
the Guardians are really good at a lot of information.
They are.
All released information.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And most of these posters that you're going to see out around the installation, the Guardians are also going to put those out. So she'll put them in the mail. So if you want to take pictures and put them in your unit, you can. They're yours. They're free. No cost to you.
Nice. Well, Ken Smith, Sherry Johnson, I appreciate you guys both coming in. And please come on back whenever you want. We'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about.
Sounds good. We appreciate it.
Anything else that I might have missed?
No, I think that is. Just remember, loose lips sink ships.
He doesn't
that-
get tongue-tied. I did.
Say that 10 times real fast.
Right?
All right. Well, this has been another great episode. I'm Jeff England. Please, if you can, leave a comment. I know you can. Leave a comment. Hit subscribe. Hit that notification button. Let us know what you are really interested in seeing on the show. And once I get your comments, and I'll see who I can find to fulfill those needs. But until then, just remember, loose lips sink ships, and remember OPSEC. Don't let the enemy know, or what would it be? Whatever. No, what you're doing, what your daily routine is. I'm Jeff England from the Public Affairs Office, and we'll be listening and watching at you later.
That was easy.